Now, this site here, you wrote a book that's included in this part. Talk about this story here.
This is a very special story. I mean, we found a passing reference to it. We, being myself and the archivist of our organization, found a passing reference to it somewhere. And all we knew that there was a Gerald Sorensen buried somewhere in Gonsorn, and we didn't even know which cemetery. So we made the effort to track it down. One day we came out here and visited. The gates were closed. We almost had to climb over it to get it to open. We started working our way through the cemetery until we came across the grave. And as you see across the grave, it says Gerald E. Sorensen, USA, died for Belgium. And that struck a chord with me. I had to find out who this was all about and why he was buried here in Belgium.
Surrounding him is other amazing stories, just the burials around as well.
Yeah, absolutely. The city of Gonsorn, this plot is known as the Pelouse d'Honneur, the honored place in the cemetery, if you will. And on the right-hand side here, everybody on the right were people who were active in the Belgian resistance, who were murdered by the Nazis in the course of the war. And each of these stories has something to tell. So I remember Jenny Abels, for example, was telling me about Mr. Brabant, who you see the photograph right there. He had 2 young children that he left behind. But he nevertheless felt it his duty to fight against the Nazi oppression. And
there's even additional remains that have been brought in as well in this section here.
Exactly. There's a section here from ashes from Dachau, the concentration camp in Dachau, were brought here to commemorate, of course, what happened in the East.
The structure of this one is so different than any of the other hidden grave sites that we've been to so far.
For each of the isolated graves, the Americans that are buried outside of the cemeteries are there for a variety of reasons. In the case of Gerald Sorensen, it was because he became friends with the Abels family. He sheltered in their Abels family home. He became part of the Abels family. The Abels, so it was natural that he would be buried in the cemetery. And as I said, the city, following the war, decided to turn this into the special place for their war heroes.